Hello, good morning, and welcome back to Morning Rae. Guys, I'm so excited to be back. I'm your host, Lan. I just realized I didn't introduce myself, but hi. Hi, I'm Lan. It's been a hot minute. I didn't have time to fit in a podcast recording the previous week. I was busy doing another certification for Pilates to teach at a new studio here in Toronto, which I'm so excited about. I will announce it more officially once I'm on the schedule, but I'm doing my first community class tomorrow, and then my second one will be on Friday. So I'm so excited. I'm definitely a bit nervous, definitely leaning into that discomfort and challenging myself here, even though I've been teaching at LSDR for 2 months, a little over 2 months now. It's definitely a very different experience. At LSDR, I teach into headphones, so I don't have to speak as loud. It's almost like I'm recording on the podcast, but at this new studio, it's a traditional setup with a mic and a speaker system, so I have to project so much more in order for the class to hear what I'm saying, and I am quite soft-spoken, so that has definitely been a learning curve, but I'm so excited, and I'm really excited today for our episode. Our Ask LAN columns, our advice columns, are always some of my favorite episodes to record for you guys. Today is very kind of career heavy, mindsets, life focused. I feel like normally they are more dating focused, and I kind of wanted to switch it up. So I picked questions that you guys have asked that kind of lean more towards life, career, and just like mindsets and stuff like that. But if you ever want to participate and send in a question, I always have a link to my Ask LAN Google form. It's all anonymous. Guys, I'm so good at saying that word now. I have to really think about it when I say it, but it's all anonymous. I don't see who sends it in. I don't get an email, nothing like that. It's literally just the question, and then I will answer them on the next Ask LAN advice column. But if you need more timely advice, you can always hit up my regular advice column sessions on Instagram stories on Mondays. I always post a question box and will answer questions live on stories. My DMs are always open. I'm always happy to chat things through. Nothing is too much. Like, I truly will sit there with you as if we're besties and you were debriefing things with me. I dyed my hair this morning back to brunette. Honestly, I was kind of sad to say goodbye to the red, but I was craving just being back to brunette. It still kind of is a bit red in the sunlight, but my hair was red-ish naturally in the sunlight to begin with, but it feels good to be back to brunette. I saw a video of Melody Miles, who I absolutely love, and she went a bit lighter, like a bit warmer, lighter brown, and I think maybe I could do that next time. We'll see. But super, super excited about everything going on. In terms of current faves, you guys, I repurchased my favorite candle, the Boy Smells Hanuki Phantom, and I forgot how much I love it. So, so, so good. Also have been obsessed with doing berries again. I've been doing berries once a week, really enjoying that. I started reading this book. I actually have it right here. It's Joe Dispenza, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. I'm not sure if I've spoken about it on the pod yet, but I'm not that deep into it, but I'm really enjoying it, and I feel like it's definitely going to be a book I probably won't shut up about, or at least in applying a lot of the concepts and theories and methodologies that Joe Dispenza talks about a lot. I'll be probably discussing that a lot through the podcast. But let's get into Ask LAN. I'm super excited about this, and let's do it. Question number 1. How to manage feeling unqualified when applying for multiple jobs and no prospects. I want to let you know that this feeling is far more common than you think, and it's something a lot of people won't openly discuss. So if you feel like everyone kind of feels or seems like they feel super qualified and confident in what they're doing in terms of their jobs and applying, and I'm sure like a lot of people do feel that to a certain degree. But I know, like, from my own experience and in talking to friends, sometimes I feel like, especially women, we downplay our credibility. And I want to remind you that if you are a man, you would apply for a job even if you didn't think you qualified, even if you didn't have anything that was highlighted on job qualifications, job responsibilities, experience, etc., they would still apply. Men just will do that. So I want you to think like a man when you are applying for your jobs. Act confident and no one will question you. My mom said this to me once when I was applying for jobs and I was talking to her. I'm like, well, I don't have everything on this job responsibilities, like not job responsibilities, qualifications. Like I don't have the requirements for this job. I don't have everything on here. And she said to me, a job requirements and a job description is simply just a wish list. It is what an employer, whoever is hiring, the hiring manager, the headhunter, it is something. There are things that they are wishing and hoping for in their client. It's kind of like when you're dating, you have a kind of a list of qualities that you're looking for in a partner. And ideally, you would love to get most of them or majority of them, but you're not going to check off every single one. There is always like something, you can always grow into a role, be trained to be better fit for the role. You can learn new skills. Like you aren't going to have every single qualification or requirement for a job. And I think rather shoot your shot and try than not try at all. And just like fake it till you make it. You'll figure it out as you go. Ask questions. Especially I'm gonna assume, like I don't know, I don't have much information here, so I don't know if you are currently in a job, if you're in university applying for post-grad jobs, if you're older, like whatever it is, whatever state or stage of your career you're in, I'm not really sure, but I'm just going to assume that you're a bit younger based off of my audience. It's normal. It's normal to have no prospects. It's normal to feel unqualified. Like your feelings are completely justifiable and there's nothing wrong with that and there's nothing weird about it. I mean, I felt unqualified walking into my Pilates job. I felt unqualified starting this podcast. Everyone has to start somewhere, and rather shoot your shot and see what happens than play it safe, you know? Like be bold, apply for jobs, set up coffee chats, get connections, kind of get your foot in the door somehow. Like you network your way in. I really think we used to talk about this a lot in business class in grade 11, and I remember my teacher would, this is so long ago now, but I remember my teacher would say like, what's more important, what you know or who you know? And while it's great to have a great intelligence and world of knowledge, and those things are important and you need that in order to do your job, it's who you know that gets you in the door. So if you can find ways to network with people, whether it's through LinkedIn or networking opportunities, especially through your university, if you went to university or college or any sort of school or anything like that, reach out to your personal network, reach out to your parents' network if you have that. Like talk around, speak to people, be vulnerable, discuss these things, and you don't know like what person and who you know and maybe their connection and who they can connect you with will open up a door for you. So I always stress, focus on your network. Your network is your net worth. Who you know is more important than what you know, and that's what will get your foot in the door and open doors for you. How do I get the courage and the money to finally leave my toxic job of 7 years? I think leaving something that's all you know, whether it's a job, a relationship, a lifestyle, a town, whatever it is, it's scary. The unknown is scary. Change is scary. Doing something new is scary. It's uncomfortable, it's daunting, it's unfamiliar, and that is okay. But if you are feeling this gut feeling that it is time for you to be courageous enough to take a leap of faith and leave this toxic job of yours, then I urge you to lean into it. Obviously, take an educated, calculated risk. But I think staying at the toxic job is only going to cause you more harm than good. I would start looking for other opportunities before leaving. trying to have something lined up or something in the works, hopefully, especially with the state of the economy. I've been told by my friends that the job market is starting to pick up, so that's always helpful and that's nice to hear. But I would try to set something up and have a role secured that you can jump to before quitting this toxic job. I think that's just like the responsible thing to do, especially if you have bills to pay and responsibilities and obligations, especially financially. I think it's important to have something lined up and to go down that route. But if you have this gut feeling, this inner knowing that it's time, that you're sick of this, that you're put up with it, that you've kind of hit rock bottom here, I think that is your cue to start to look at ways as to how you can move forward, what the next steps are, what are the different paths and directions you can take from the current position that you are in, what that will look like, what the income will look like with each of those, how you will feel emotionally with that as well. But at the end of the day, it is a job. I hate to tell you this, but you are replaceable. Like, maybe they'll be upset that you're leaving. Maybe they won't ever find someone as qualified, as good at your job as you are. But it is just a job. At the end of the day, it's a job. You are replaceable. Like, you will be replaced. And that's just what it is. And it's not that deep. Even though I'm sure, like, in a situation where it's a toxic job, I totally understand. I haven't fully been in that situation myself. But knowing what it's like to leave a semi-toxic environment. One of the retail jobs I worked, I felt it was very toxic near the end, but it feels really freeing to get out of there, and it's just a job at the end of the day. They'll replace you or they won't. It kind of is what it is. What to do when you're in a rut and can't get yourself to do anything. It's probably the worst feeling ever to be in a rut. It sucks. Everything feels exhausting, tiring. You feel kind of hopeless, unmotivated, drained. You have a lot of negative self-talk. Nothing feels exciting. And I think the best thing, and the thing that I find works the best for me, is to just simplify everything. Simplify my morning routine. I know my morning routine is something that makes me feel good. It's something that makes a lot of people feel good. It sets the tone for the rest of your day. It gets you out of bed, especially when that's super hard when you're in a rut. Just simplify it. Don't overcomplicate things for you. Focus on doing the things that make you feel good, that will set you up for success. Because when you start to do the things that make you feel good every single day or most days, it adds up. That feel-good feeling has a compounding effect, and eventually it will pull you out of this rut. You will start to see the light at the end of the tunnel, and that is a really great starting point. Another thing that you can do to help you get out of a rut is to give yourself things to look forward to. Whether it's a workout class that you really enjoy once a week, whether it's scheduling a coffee date with a friend or your partner. Maybe it's scheduling date night with your partner. Maybe it's setting up a Hinge date, or maybe you're taking yourself on a date. Maybe you are going to go walk around now that it's getting nice and create a little picnic and have a day at the park. I know I love going to Trinity Bellwoods or Rosedale Park here in Toronto. It's so much fun. Or I love walking down by the water. Find little things that you can look forward to. And these don't have to be things that cost money. It can simply be just like a roaming around in your town, just going on a stroll with a friend, maybe going on a hot girl walk by yourself. Maybe you're going to go on a run. Give yourself something to look forward to kind of motivate you to get through the week. Something else you can do is kind of like reset your space. I find usually when I'm in a rut, my space reflects that. Your space is a representation of your mind. So if your mind is cluttered, if it's overwhelmed, typically I find my space is too. So set aside time. Maybe it's 10 minutes each day. Maybe you want to do like a deep clean and go through everything, spring clean your space, if you will. It will honestly really help you feel mentally better. My space was so chaotic last week. I was super busy. I didn't have time to do laundry or like literally do anything properly. And my space was starting to get messy, and with my space being messy, my mind felt cluttered, and it kind of was just like this endless cycle because my mind was feeling overwhelmed, so that my space was feeling overwhelmed, and then the overwhelmed space was not allowing for a clear, calm mind. So take some time, clear up your space, declutter, get rid of the junk, take the trash out, do a deep clean of your bathroom, of your kitchen, maybe go through your closet, maybe bring the spring, summer clothes forward. Whatever it is, just reset your space, maybe open the windows, open the backyard door, the balcony door, light a candle, whatever it is, just like refresh your space, because I really do think a clear space equals a clear mind. And those are a few little things that you can do when you're in a rut and really can't get yourself to do anything. Just really start small. Make it simple, easy for yourself. And if you want a more in-depth episode, I do have one. I'll link it in the show notes so that you can go and listen to that. But it truly is the worst feeling. I'm so sorry that's where you're at right now, but I promise you, it is temporary. It is not going to last. You are not stuck in this rut. It will pass. You just have to keep pushing through, because the only way to get through hard periods is to push through it, to work through it, get from point A to point B, pushing through to the other side. How to put things into action when life gets in the way of plans I've made and mess up what I wanted to do. My love. See, this is the funny thing about life. You make a plan and it laughs at you. And I learned this from a very young age. I had a plan of going to Laurier for 4 years. I was going to get my Bachelor of Business Administration degree. I was going to major in marketing. I was going to work at one of the big four or do something cool in fashion marketing for some, I don't know, like contemporary fashion brand, something of that nature. That plan did not happen. That is not my career. That is not where I graduated school from. I literally transferred school after second year. Never thought that would be a thing. Never planned on doing that. I never really planned on my social media taking off. That was kind of just a side thing that I was doing for fun. It was a hobby, and now it's my job. I never planned on becoming a Pilates instructor. I never saw myself working in the fitness space. I didn't see myself still being single at 25, turning 26. Like, I saw my sister have a boyfriend since 19. I knew my parents met at 21. My sister moved out with her boyfriend at 25. So I kind of just anticipated a similar timeline for myself. That is not the case. I'm 25, turning 26. I've been living on my own in my own apartment, which I never thought would happen, but fuck, it's cool. For 3 years this month. I've been moved out for 4 years, which is insane. I was actually talking about this with my friend earlier. I moved out right before my 22nd birthday. So I was 21, and I remember making a mental note to myself that if by the time I was 26, I would move away from the area that I'm currently living in, I would move a bit more north into like a different area that's a bit more residential, not as south downtown. And funny enough, I'm 26. And like, my plan was like, if I wasn't living with my boyfriend by that point, I would do that. I'm turning 26 in a few months in August. I'm not living with my partner. I don't have a partner. And honestly, I'm contemplating that now, because honestly, it's time for a change. But I guess that was my plan. But obviously, I wanted the part A, plan A of that plan, not plan B. You know what? Life is what it is, and you can make a plan. All chaos could unravel, and sometimes the plan works and sometimes it doesn't, and sometimes we can put things into action and it runs seamlessly and goes exactly the way we wanted it to work out. But I think if COVID and my journey with university and my career has taught me anything, it is so important to be agile and flexible and be able to pivot and move quick on your feet, to not take things so deeply when they don't go the way as planned, because the universe, the God, a higher power, whatever you believe in, has a bigger plan for you. And whatever doesn't stick isn't meant to. You don't lose what isn't, you don't you don't lose what's meant for you. I truly wholeheartedly believe that. And the things that you want, that you desire, will come to you when you are truly ready for them. You will not be given them unless you are ready. You may mentally think you're ready, but the higher power, spirits, God, whoever, whichever, maybe it's no one, maybe you're atheist, won't give it to you until you're ready. With all of that said, I'm not saying to not make plans. I think plans are super important. They give us a direction to head in. It gives us a goal. It gives us a concrete plan how to get from step A to step B, part 1 to part 2, whatever it is. Plans are super important. But I don't want you to get so hyper fixated on this plan. I don't want you to think that the plan is failing if shit happens. If it doesn't go exactly as you had written it out, as you had planned, that does not mean you are failing, that you are doing it wrong, that you're not going to accomplish whatever said goal it is that you are trying to achieve. You may have detours or setbacks, like that is life, and you just have to know how to keep moving forward. You keep moving the needle forward inch by inch, foot by foot, whatever it is, you keep moving forward no matter what obstacles, hurdles are thrown at you. You get pulled back 5 feet, cool, sick. You redo that part of the puzzle, of the path. You redo it, you relearn. You make a mistake, okay, cool. You reflect, you acknowledge, we don't make that mistake again, and we move forward. The best thing about mistakes, if you are smart, if you are aware, if you are willing to reflect and put in the work, you most likely will never make that mistake again, whether it's in business, in friendships, in relationships, whatever it is. When we make mistakes, and I'm going to assume that you are a bright, young, emotionally intelligent individual, you probably won't make that mistake again. You will remember what happened, why it went that way, how it made you feel, what it resulted in, the impacts of that, and you will learn from your mistakes and not make them again. And you will become a stronger, wiser, better version of you. You can still put things into action. Take action in whatever it is you are working on, but don't get so caught up in the idea that it has to go perfectly. You may do step 1, step 2, step 3. You might then jump to step 5, then do step 4, maybe jump forward again. Maybe you jump back a few steps. It happens. Life happens. Shit happens. It doesn't mean you're doing it wrong. It is what it is. You make a plan, God will laugh. Truly so wholeheartedly, but you will look back and reflect on this and understand why things had to go that they went in order for you to get to where you were. It will all make sense in the end when we reflect back. How to keep your motivation and discipline even on tough days. You just have to keep showing up. You have to hold yourself accountable. You have to work on that mental toughness. Staying motivated it's hard. Motivation is a feeling. It's an emotion. It's fleeting. It's not reliable. It's like that toxic ex. It's hot and cold. It's not consistent. Discipline, however, if you develop strong self-discipline, it will be there for you even on the tough days. It is something that you will lean on even when you don't want to show up. For example, earlier this week, I signed up for a 6 a.m. berries class on a Wednesday. The reason I did it was because I had 8 a.m. therapy. I had a busy day. I wanted to get a workout in. I woke up at 5 a.m. and I was like, why the fuck did I do this to myself? Like, why did I decide that a 6 a.m. workout was gonna be great? Like, why did I think that? I mean, it did end up being great. But in that moment, I was fuck that. Like, I want to go back to bed. Guys should probably prioritize sleep. Got out of bed. I was in the bathroom. I was standing, staring at myself in the mirror. And I remember it's like literally 5:20 a.m. And I'm looking at myself. I'm like, oh my God, I really don't want to do this. I just want to sleep. I'm tired. I just want to go back to bed. Sleep is better, right? Like, prioritize sleep. Yes, prioritize sleep. But I was like, no. I decided that I wanted to do this class. I think this class will be really good for me. I think it will push me out of my comfort zone. Moving my body is good for me. I've been wanting to do a bit more HIIT training lately, and I decided I was going to do this workout and I'm going to show up for myself. I'm going to keep that promise for myself. And that's the self-discipline talking. That's the mental toughness talking. That is the muscle that I have trained my whole life in order to rely on it. Because in that moment, the motivation wasn't there. I didn't have motivation. There was nothing motivating me besides going back to bed and maybe the cancellation fee or losing another credit. But my self-discipline, the discipline, the mental toughness that I have created for myself in continuously working this muscle of being disciplined and putting discipline on myself to stick to my goals and my promises, clocked in. It cued in, it turned on. And another thing is that I like to remind myself that if you can't keep a promise to yourself, how can you expect to choose people that keep promises for you? Because your relationships with other people, the respect or disrespect that you accept is a direct reflection of the respect that you have for yourself. I want you to focus on keeping those little promises to yourself. Look at the things that you decide to do, whether it's a workout or cooking more home cooked meals or sticking to whatever goals it is, as keeping promises to yourself. Would you want to let yourself down? Would you want to let down your younger self? Ask yourself that the next time you're feeling unmotivated, undisciplined, wanting to give up. For our last question here, what is advice you give to your younger self? I feel like this is always a really reflective question, and I love doing the episodes that I do each year on my birthday where it's like however old I'm turning, things I learned before turning X age. But I would say like the number one thing I wish I could tell my younger self is, and this is something I have reflected on a lot lately, to stop being so afraid to let people in. Like to just be authentically myself and to not push people away out of fear of them hurting you, like, or of disappointing or feeling abandoned by them. Take the risk, be open, let yourself experience love, whether it's platonic in a friendship or romantic in a relationship, or maybe it's leaning on a mentor, someone you look up to. Like, don't be so afraid to lean on other people and open up to them and be truthfully vulnerable as opposed to like half. I would also say to stop caring so much about what other people think of you and what they have to say about who you are and what you're doing, because all that matters at the end of the day is if you are content with your decision, no matter what it is, no matter how big or small that decision is or that choice, whatever it is, it does not matter as long as you are happy with it and you are content in it and you are confident in it, because you are the only person that has to live with it. And it is so mentally freeing to let go trying to please everyone and live up to other people's expectations. And this is obviously something I'm still working on currently, but I do think I have come a long way in not letting 95% of my mental capacity, the things I think about, be what other people are going to think of it and how they're going to perceive it and react to it and how it's going to make them see me as a person. I have been so much happier just choosing to be ignorant to what people might say about me behind my back. How might people react to it? It is truly so freeing, and life is too short to be chained, to be tied down to what you think other people might like or dislike about what you are doing with your life. It is your life, not theirs. They don't have to live with it. Not everyone is going to like you, and that is a good thing. And I would also say to just like own your truth. Like own your truth, own yourself, be confidently yourself, show up as you, stop trying to fit yourself into some mold that you think you are supposed to be. Stop trying to please the male gaze. Stop trying to like fit in where you're not meant to be. Like if you are truthfully yourself, you will attract the right people that are meant to be in your life. And It will save you so much heartbreak, whether it's from friends not working out or romantic interests or anything of that sort. The more you try to pretend to be someone else, the more misaligned you are going to be in your life. And it's so much harder to get back home when you've taken the wrong train for too long. So just focus on being you, being confidently you, letting go of thoughts, opinions, things that you think other people are going to say about you. Focus on you, go tunnel vision on yourself, and I promise you, so many amazing things will come from doing that. There will be more good than bad by owning your truth, sticking to it, and being open and vulnerable and staying soft on the inside and not being so rigid and cold and putting up walls. It's only going to hurt you. The walls only hurt you. They only isolate you and lead to self-sabotage. That's advice I would give my younger self. But I'm going to end off the episode here. I'm going to go on a little hot girl walk with my friend Laura. And I hope you guys have a lovely week. I hope you are enjoying the spring weather, and make sure to leave a rating or review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. That's how you can help support the pod. I love you guys so much. I love seeing when you tag that you're listening to the pod on socials. I love reposting it. I love chatting with you guys, and I'll see you next week. Bye, guys.